Hey everyone, it's Ramona checking in. First, I want to apologize to our professor because I have kept trying to use the webcam that is available through, I think it's called Video Using Everywhere or something in that sense. And I get so far to it, but then it always says that there's an error. I don't know if it's because I have a Mac, could possibly be it. So I apologize about that. I guess I'm just going to have to keep recording this on what's called my photo booth application and then just copy paste it to YouTube and then give you guys the web address. So apologize about that. I keep trying though. Second off, I'm apologize. I just got back from the gym, so I'm looking a little rough. But anyway, it's been a couple weeks since my last video, so wanted to check in. So far, I have still been doing a lot of one-on-one visiting the clients that I'm assigned to. I still see from 17 to about 18 people, and I visit them 3 times a month, all of them, and I do make my own schedule. In the meantime, I am still meeting with my field supervisor once a week to kind of sit down and discuss things, see how things are going, bounce some ideas off each other, discuss the clients that I'm seeing, as well as I'm attending the weekly interdisciplinary team meetings. And in those meetings, what we discuss all of the patients that AseraCare Hospice sees. We split it up, so many one week, so many the next week. That way we can kind of collaborate together about the certain patient, and also just to bounce off ideas, discuss interventions we're thinking of or problems, etc. So everything has been going great. I'll tell you, obviously with hospice, I'm running into some patients who are very cognitively aware. And then I'm running into some patients who are not cognitively aware. Either some of them can't communicate whatsoever, they speak but incoherently, or there's just some who are simply confused but can speak to me, in a sense of the people who are diagnosed with dementia or with Alzheimer's. So with those patients, I do have to be very patient. And you do have to analyze and assess as best as you can. Because some of the things that they'll tell you is quite valid. But I know a lot of the times, I always introduce myself with every interaction. And you kind of have to read their body language. I know that was a big thing in social work. You definitely will look at the body language just to see, are they in any distress? Are they in any discomfort? And you kind of have to go off of what you're seeing to know how to initiate your conversation. Because I've also run into, I have had to be the one to initiate conversation with some patients. They're able to respond back to me, but then they won't follow through with a conversation. So that's quite challenging. But I will say, because of my background of working in a nursing home prior to starting my master's, and even while I've been in my master's, has really helped me with that. But also, I do have a lot of clients that are cognitively aware. So I get to have actual interaction and get to speak with them and go through, their stages of grief. For people who know that they're having a diagnosis that is irreversible, so they have to deal with the thought of their own death. So I do obviously deal with the 5 stages of grief. I do use strength-based perspective. A lot of them will also want to use narrative type therapy. That really seems to help them. I have yet to run into a family yet that really is, I guess, outreaching for some help, you know, to, what's the word I'm thinking of, to just get through the situation, for their loved one dying, for them to, because some people have a hard time processing that. But I do want to present one situation. It's with, it's a patient of my supervisor's, but that I basically help her out with. It's with a gentleman who, he is in his 60s, and he does have a diagnosis that's irreversible, so he is on hospice. He has a wife who's in her 60s, and then she lives at home with the patient. Their son, who is in early 30s, lives there. And then they have a granddaughter who lives off and on at the home. The granddaughter is their daughter's daughter. The granddaughter stays there sometimes because their daughter has been in and out of jail, has been off and on with drugs, is very, very unstable, and causes a lot of problems with the families. She'll call in, she'll threaten to kill them, she'll threaten to take away the granddaughter. Basically a very unhealthy environment. And what happens is we will go into the home and we want to obviously focus on who the hospice patient is, and also, you know, be there for who his support system is, who his family is. But what tends to happen is the wife will take over the conversation and completely just make a dramatic scene about their situation and completely steer away from the focus of our actual hospice patient. And we will continue to try and steer it back to him. But the wife, no matter what we do, for her to realize, you know, we're there for him first and foremost, and then the family, she doesn't seem to quite grasp that. She will also try and ask us to help her with things such as she'll ask us to call the daughter and tell the daughter to not come into the home anymore, or tell the daughter that they just issued a PFA against her. So the mother, the patient's wife, is definitely requesting us to do things that are almost out of line for our job. So we've done some approaches, but I just wanted to get some feedback from anyone else who might have a better idea of maybe of some way it could help, some way we can approach her to truly understand, you know, what we are there for, why we are there for her husband, that he is the patient that we see, and just basically, you know, how to outline boundaries for her, if you guys have any suggestions. Besides that, everything has been going great. Sorry about the long video. Alright, thanks guys.